I wonder how Panda's getting on. Oh my god, he's dead. Maybe if I could take his headset, I could go into his mind. He really loves grapplers, Jesus Christ.
Hello, Potemkin. How are you?
What are you doing here?
I've been stuck here working on the next rap, Potemkin. Please, take a look.
Armor King?
Grab his back, baby!
My loyal fans!
Hey, hey!
任務を遂行する。終わりだ。
Before we get into Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, oh my god, what a week, right? Tekken 8, an absolute shambles with 3.0. I was actually looking forward to it. I was thinking I might come back to the game. That's not happening. I'm good. I like the idea that they buffed everyone despite the fact that you're low tier as an A tier in that game. So that's some great design. Well done, Bandai Namco. You really made us proud of that one. And then Street Fighter 6. Oh my god, Alex is cool. The patch notes actually did some good changes. Maybe like a 7 out of 10 for decent patch notes. However, for some reason, Alex thought that, oh, I might go Sweet Alabama on my cousin. Sweet home Alabama. And because of that, he has completely ruined any good faith for a ton of people. Like, if you cosplay as Alex there... Ooh, that's rough, buddy. Honestly, Guilty Gear 2.0 can't mess it up. You can't do any worse than what we just saw. Surely. Did they just delete Kara? Please. But Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, am I right, guys?
Yes, dude!
Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection is a sick fighting game with some of your favourite characters from the Tekken series, mixed in with some new ones like Dragunov, Devil Jin, and Lily. Massive roster. A cool Tekken game that upgraded from Tekken 4 in my mind. Tekken 5 upgraded from Tekken 4 by a ton, fixing some of the giant and leveling up the characters in strength compared to the way they were in 4. I grew up with 4, but 5 was my next game I was addicted to as a kid. Playing on PSP or on PS2 was how I enjoyed the game. Except I didn't have friends, so I had to fight the AI or my dad, or in some cases, my mom. Tekken 4 has 4 attack buttons, one for each limb. Using them in sequence or together will create new strings or give you new attacks. You have access to all forms of movement to get about the stage at sonic speed with the iconic Tekken movement. Getting in the wall in this game was much stronger as the reward was heightened from Tekken 4, or had the infinites, but it was really niche to get to it, whereas here, it's just overall strong. That's everything you gotta know, so we gotta talk about the Dark Heel. King from Hell. I made that one up. The Dark Supernova. Armor King.
Now, let the world hear it. Shout his name! Thirsting for revenge, the jet black villain returns to the ring!
Armor King is the Mac Daddy of evil grapplers. When people think who is the coolest grappler in 3D fighters, it is this guy for sure. That or King, or Tina, or El Blaze. You can't go wrong, honestly. Armor King reigns from unknown, ooh, spooky, as a dark and evil version of King, using more heel or brutal moves in wrestling to sell that feel. When I see this grab, Stone Cold's theme plays in my head. And that adds to it as Armor King likes beer. It's one of his likes. In Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, he got a rework to make him less like King with Mishima stuff to be himself, with a teeny blend of both. He also references Kinniku Mans with the 9 hells being the giant swing, or the Kinniku driver being his air throw that's really cool in this game. So story, how did he come back? So story time, Armor King passed away, so who the hell is this guy? How did he come back from the ending of 3? He seems to know King as he pile drivers him on meeting, which is a very heel thing to do, as a pile driver aims to break the opponent's neck. Well, in Tekken 6 it's revealed to be Armor King's brother, and he can't forgive King for excusing his brother's killer, Marduk. He vows vengeance on him and he has been his enemy since. Weird but an enjoyable story. It's great to have our heroes and heels. Same for the toolkit, and I'ma be honest with you. Despite it being his comeback story, it's anything but. Don't get me wrong, you look cool, but time for the toolkit. Armor King comes equipped with everything you'd expect him to. He's got a complete throw game, decent mids, and wrestling wildcard moves. The issue was, this was Armor King's first game back, so they had to fit in new tools to set the mood that this is a different character. But the issue with those tools is that they're either lacking the follow-ups, lacking the reach, or lacking the frame data that actually makes them good, like in modern Tekkens. Like, they all look cool and they set up Armor King to be a very cool and unique character, but when you see it, you get frustrated. You'll see that throughout the entire video, that he's always missing something. Something isn't there. He has standard good pokes like his jab or his down forward left arm. Left you plus on hit, and on block it was the enemy's turn, which is the standard for down forward 1. But it wasn't -1 on block, it was -3, meaning there wasn't much wiggle room if it was blocked. Usually he'd go for a dick jab or maybe space out a poke, but here, it's impossible. His wave dash return, giving him access to the Dark Upper, which is awesome, an amazing launcher that was very high in damage. He lost his Mishima Thunder Godfist, but it was replaced with the High Lariat, which is a super plus on block high that resets for pressure, so pretty good. Also, look at that knockdown. Fantastic too. He got a knee for her knockdowns, and he got a cool new high unblockable that just screams swagger. And he even got his poison, but in this game it is super slow, with this crouch animation being unavoidable until he spits it out, so there's a massive tail for this. So basic tools were good for him. He had great movement with the wave dashing, and his pokes seemed pretty decent, right? Well, a lot of his key tools were actually lacking in a ton of the poking department. The reach wasn't that good. Forward right arm into left arm is a key whiff punisher in today's Tekken. A fantastic tool for wall splatting and knocking down the opponent if they whiffed something like a jab. Needed for hitting the opponent in neutral. Here, it lacks that reach, meaning the lightest movement back will make the elbow whiff. In Tekken 5, you can die for whiffing like this. This game is brutal. Do not go to this tool unless you think you can hit it, but here's the issue, it was also a double high, meaning you could just duck to not give a damn, making it super whiff punishable. Dashing right arm was your demon palm poke. It reached far and gave a wall splat, which is awesome. On normal hit did knock down, but that's not an issue, right? You're still gaining some advantage through hitting your opponent. Pokes tend to be -7 to -11. They tend to be, I give my opponent the turn, but they're a good mid-check in neutral for those long distance poking. So here it's gotta be good. -15 on block. That means you could be launch punished for going for a mid check in neutral. Again, perspective wise, this is -9 in Tekken 8. My goodness. It was very hard to use against characters that had good punishment, like a Mishima, and the Mishimas in this game, we're top 5. Most of them were top 5 to top 10, so have fun with that. Armor King is still to receive his key lows he needs. The next issue with Armor King was his lows, right? As we know in modern Tekken, his lows are kinda scary to fight against. You have to be smart against them. In this game, they're all ass or don't exist. He didn't have down left kick, which is one of the key stompers when it comes to offense, and he didn't have things like sidestep 2, which is great in Tekken 8. And his down back right leg, which gives a knockdown on hit and was very hard to punish because he's lying on the ground. He doesn't lie on the ground in this game. He does it, and he gets back up to be punished. Yeah, have fun with that. One of his key lows with down both legs. Didn't have the follow-up, so it just chunks the legs, so it's probably got to be a decent low, usually like +4 on hit, -15 on block, that type of deal. That was -16 on block, so it was uber punishable. And it gets worse. This low was actually -5 on hit. The slow low was -5 on hit. Slow lows in Tekken either give a hard knockdown or a super plus to make up for that fact. -5 meant that you chunked your opponent's shins to give them a turn. This is a horrible low with awful uses. It would go ignored because why would you want to give up a turn for being right? Armor King did have one low that was being good, being the underhanded nut shot. It's a counter hit launcher, but it's -18 here. Even though it's a decent poke, it had to be used with caution compared to today's -13. You couldn't safely poke with lows, and that meant you had to rely on the mids and throws to open people up. The lows are bad, and most of your pokes are abysmal. There's no other way of putting it. The movement was clean, so that means we have that and command grabs. He has a throw for every arm, so we're off to a great start. As you know in Tekken, you need a throw for every arm to have a throw game. You gotta pick the correct arm for the correct throw. His left arm is the giant swing, but it looks way cooler with the same properties. If you hit the wall, it's all guaranteed damage. You got the tombstone for the right arm. Tricky to do, but the damage and pressure you get afterwards is solid. He also has the 2 arm throws being the DDT or the Armor King Driver. However, there was a problem with his 1+2 throws. They're really easy to choreograph. You could tell they were coming. He could only do them from crouching, so it was a dead giveaway. Using your task level of inputs, you can get away with using it, but again, using 1+2 had a very easy tell, so you could see it coming. Same came with his running 1+2 throw. You had to learn how to do the instant while running throw. It was tough to get down, but once you got it down, you were finally in peeps' heads with the 1+2. Next issue for Armor King, in a game like Tekken 5, you need tools to hit the opponent getting up. You may remember Steel Paddle for flipping the opponent, or catching peeps rolling back. He only had tools to hit enemies grounded or catching rollers, nothing for both. He had to hard to commit to calling out a get up option. Throwing was tough when you had this knowledge into it, because even though you got Oki, what were you going to do with it? You had to be really cautious. Pokes get worse and worse, by the way. I wouldn't mind fully getting into it, but at the end of the day, we'd be here all day if I was just like -17 punishable, -18 punishable. You'll get the point, they're not good. If they seem decent, they're bad. Shove gives nothing on hit or counter hit, which is insane with current Tekken knowledge. Forward right leg, which is a godlike kick that wall splats in good Tekkens, give no pushback and is -17. Launch punishable on block. Back forward to 3 was amazing! Well then, the last hit is plus on block. However, the last hit is duckable with no other extension, so you duck every time. Never mind twin pistons, you were gonna get Darius. Lastly, the combos. He had good corner carry routes and damage because of Kiniku Driver or the Lawn Dart. The issue comes down to the walls though. Getting the wall combos weren't as good as it meant less hits to get into air throw. You could cash out with a grounded throw, but it was super difficult to get. Looked cool as hell though if you got it. Combos were good, throws were good, and the movement was good. But as you can see, he can't play neutral, he can't do offense without getting hit, he had no form of low pressure whatsoever. If he got a turn, he can't really do a whole lot with it, because if he didn't go for throw, he was giving it up. Despite all of this, Armor King is still one of the coolest characters to keep coming back and being the top 2 popularity for being one of the all-time grapplers. He came back sitting in low tier, but I wonder if it got better for the man cladded in armor. Sadly, there isn't much footage to go over for cool Armor Kings that made them work because he was so low tier everybody avoided him. Even JDCR, who is a massive Armor King main. High levels avoided playing him, so at the end of the day there's not going to be a highlight reel for this video. Unfortunate. He may not have been tournament viable, but he was a king in my heart. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. We've still set up a new goal, but I'm working on this series alongside Odd. Grab being back for season 2 means that there's going to be some reworks done. I'm not 100% done with them, but I'll figure out what I want as we continue on. I might set up a vote to choose between the next grab or the next Odd. I'll set up for you guys. I want to see what you think. I want to know what you guys would want. But thanks so much for the memberships. You guys mean a ton to me. Genuinely, you help me out a lot. It's very useful. Say hi to Tara and Pin. And I wonder how the Grappler church looks now. See ya.
So I don't get to say a word?
Well, you're already in my head, bro. You don't need to say much more, do you?
Well, I saved you, so when's my grab?
Never?
So it's like that.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
Brr.